Hi everyone, my name is Patrick Chi-wai from Hong Kong, the Open University of Hong Kong. So I'm so happy to present my paper here. So let's begin. Now, so this is the conference I'm now presenting to you, the International Virtual Conference on Language and Literature. Now, my title here, the top paper title here is Implementation of a Student's Experiential English Learning Through Technology Case Study. So basically this is a case study. So my interest is to see how we can use technology, help students English learning through their doing. I come from the Open University of Hong Kong, so under the School of Arts and Social Sciences, and I'm an assistant professor. Now, the study aims to basically report on the uses of technology tools in covering applications, websites, softwares, etc., for promoting students' hands-on practices across different topics throughout the module in a tertiary institute in Hong Kong. So I picked one institute and then one subject there, and to see how we can use the different technology tools. All right, I will explain it later. And this is to compare with traditional learning activities, for example, the paper-based English writing and the textbooks case study discussion. Now I promote the use of technology for students. Now, so basically, this is a case study, as I said before, attempting to showcase the implementations of a student's experiential English learning through technology. So I picked the one course named Business English Communication for degree students, all right, in a tertiary institute in Hong Kong. Now, the framework of this study based on the experiential learning. So you know it, the framework of experiential learning based on the Anfield 2001 and COP 1984. So in general, I will not go over it here. The concept of this experiential learning, but we say experiential learning is the process of learning through experience, and is more specifically defined as a learning through reflection on doing. All right, so rather than like a case study from a book, or rather than like it's writing on a paper, so it's more on action. Now, the methodology, as I said, is a hands-on practices across the different topics. You know it, for the module called Business English Communication. That's why we have the different topics. So I just pick, for example, informative, just basically tell people something, and persuasive. So ask people to adopt your ideas. And then we have talk about diversity in business, like, in business world, in the world. So we have the different people, genders, for example. Of course, we also cover the topic on oral presentation skills, etc. So that's why students were expected to make use of technology to focus on those areas. Now, then I will explain it one by one. First, I focus on the informative writing. All right, so students were expected to use, for example, their smartphones to test the teachers an informative message via the WhatsApp. Because students nowadays, in class they have smartphones, and that's why they will use the smartphone to browse from other websites, for example, probably be distracted. So that's why students are expected to use their smartphone, but use the WhatsApp, for example, for this case, and then to test the teachers when students carry this task. So this task is basically writing, planning, writing, and revising. So send a short text message through WhatsApp to customers, like the teacher. Introduce a cafe, for example, and persuade the client or customers to come. So students are expected to use their WhatsApp and then send that message out. Now I prepare a worksheet, and on writing tasks like this, for example, students are asked to think about to create a cafe name. for their as a company name, and think about what core messages in the test. All right, for example, what's the selling point? What should be included? And then, of course, I provide some vocabularies about like a cafe, for example, like a lemon tart, chocolate muffins, coffee, free Wi-Fi, of course, location of the cafe. Now, then you can see this is a student's sample writing shown on the WhatsApp. You see, for example, here, dear variable guest, a new cafe, soft opening, cafe name, and then that students actually make the name as an ideal cafe and tea lounge. So that's why I use this way to list out some selling points here. Of course, the students expect to provide more relevant information like the opening hours or any gimmick like live music every Friday, etc. And then here is the continual part. So the students also mentioned like, don't forget our delicious homemade cakes, all right? But sometimes students will have mistakes in terms of the spelling mistakes or like grammar mistakes. So the teachers got their WhatsApp message and can also reply back with comment or maybe project it out and then for sharing, for discussion. Okay, so this is about like the WhatsApp. I mean, focus on the informative writing. Of course, this is also kind of persuasive writing. Now, the next task here, I focus more on the persuasive writing. Students, again, expected to use the smartphone, for example, to browse and evaluate some existing fundraising projects. Now, persuasive writing means you ask people like to buy your product or service. So in the market here, we got a lot of a website, for example, Kickstarter, and then they also have apps. So that's why the sum could be you, could be me, have a very good business idea, and then but we need money. So that's why we just post the message to convince the reader to support you, for example, by donation or by buying your service. So that's why they are a backer if you're interested in someone's project. All right. Now then the students are asked to evaluate to find out some, projects they feel like interesting to them, appealing to them. So that's why I introduced one app called Kickstarter. All right. So basically, it's a fundraising web application. Now, this is the page about the Kickstarter. Like the Kickstarter project does more than raise money, all right? And then talk about how or who should be involved, and then to run this kind of a fundraising project, all right? I will not go over in here detail. Now, I randomly pick one product. All right, this is a called 3-in-1 premium cutlery. Cutlery, for example, including fork, knife, spoon. All right, and then 3-in-1. And then they also have the name called Locklery. So that's why. If you're interested in buying this product, and then you will put the money here. So that's why as a backer, of course, we have to look at the description in English. So that's why students are asked to find anything, service or maybe product that they like. So I just pick this one and then to see what the writing, the description, all right, that appeal to you or not, maybe not. Now, you can see here, like the text on these apps. So luckily it's also eco-friendly using sustainable polymer, blah, blah, blah. And luckily made of a high quality stainless steels. So students would comment on discuss whether the vocabulary or the grammar problem or what words that appeal to them, for example. That's why students find it like this product or service looks appealing to him or her. Now, another topic is about like the diversity in business. For example, culture and communication. You know it in the business world, in the world, all right? I mean, like they have different races, genders, or age group, etc. So we have to be very careful when we use even a single word. So that's why students were expected to use, again, the phone, the smartphone to examine the authentic comment from public social media on a company regarding on the diversity in business. For example, on the social media, and then we have the Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, for example. I particularly pick one is H&M hoodies. hoodie. And H&M is a retailing company. Years ago, that's the issue on the culture and diversity. All right, I will elaborate more. So that's why I focus on the Twitter to see people, the public, post a comment on this issue. All right, the issue actually is about the H&M slammed as a racist for monkey in the jungle. All right, monkey in the jungle. What does it mean? Now let's take a look at the picture here. So on the Twitter here, basically this is the picture. Actually, it's advertisements, from the H&M. The coolest monkey in the jungle. Coolest monkey in the jungle. However, this is a black kid, so that's why that's provoked more anger. Say kind of a racist. So a lot of a comment from the public. So students expected to read the comment and to see what went wrong. For example, look at the comment here is that woke up this morning shocked and embarrassed by this photo. I'm deeply offended and will not be working with H&M anymore. All right, so you can see, someone, are not very happy with this, but some find it that will be okay. Now, of course, this is a slammed H&M slammed as racist for monkey in the jungle hoodie. All right. Then, of course, finally H&M apologized. All right. So that's why I also had discussion with the students. So what did H&M respond? So basically, is apologize. So H&M, you expressed a statement. We sincerely apologize for offending people with the image of the printed top. All right, or we believe in the diversity and inclusion in all that we do, and we will be reviewing all our internal policy, all right, according to avoid any future issue. All right, now then this is an authentic case, so students expect to browse the social media and then to find out one problematic cases about diversity in business because of the words, because of the writing style, etc. Now, then I move on to talk about the topic on oral presentation, because previously we have the WhatsApp, and then we have the website or apps, and then we also have the, the social media, like the different platform, technology tool. And then, of course, speaking of oral presentation, students expect to, know how to make a presentation. For example, they learn how to prepare the presentation slides, etc. Now, but I think in the traditional approach, basically we use the PowerPoint slides, think about the content and just type or, however, they may be asked to apply another technique, to prepare to present this oral presentation. For example, we have a software like the Prezi here, so that students find it more interactive. All right, like I will show it to you now. Now, if the topic on oral presentation is about how to plan, the use of visual or other device to involve with the audience, then of course we just ask students to make sure they make one main point per visual, or try to limit the information to the number of words, let's say 20, 30 words, 35 words, etc. Now, then, of course, the students are asked to, use the software Prezi here. Now, what is it? So I now will not go into details, but the student find it more interactive rather than like a paper-based. They have the ideas and put it into the PowerPoint slide in a way. Actually, this is more than the PowerPoint slide. This is like the software. So you can see the sample here. All right, so you can zoom in and zoom out. All right, make it bigger and then more interactive. So because of time, I have to stop here with the last part as conclusion. The case study here is to point out the result that students is experiential English learning, all right, through doing, and then through technology can be realized across the different module topics. So it's not like we cannot use technology to teach this topic. Actually, we can. So that's why rather than you using the paper-based or textbook case study, then we can look for the authentic test, for example, or authentic case study in a way from the website, or use a more interactive software. So that's why technology tools range from WhatsApp, all right, like sending a WhatsApp message for customers, website, application to software. So that's why this study is more like empirical, more hands-on practices for students. So this is to play a role transforming the challenge of the students' distract use of smartphone in class, for example, into the best use of the students' uh, technology, all right? Because you may see the students sometimes just focus on their smartphone rather than focusing on student teachers' presentation in class. But now we use this method through the technology. The students can also make that use of the technology, helping them to further learning the focus topic. So that will be the end of my presentation here, right? So if you have any question, you just contact the conference, and then we'll probably get your question and get back to you as soon as possible. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.